Hi everyone, welcome to the family table. My name is Cathy and I am so excited to let you know we are going into season 3. Believe it or not, it's been 3 years since we started doing the family table. What we're going to do this year to kind of liven things up, we're going to go around the world. We're going to have different recipes from different nationalities and other cultures and different things to kind of like spice up your life. It's been 3 years. We're going to do something different and we're going to go on board now that we're moving forward. So let me start season 3. Hi everyone, welcome to the family table. We are here again with my friend and classmate, Chef Gloria Cabral, and today we're going to do hand pies. And the reason why hand pies are so big today is because we're all in a rush, we're all in a hurry, and we're all got someplace to go. So we got several ones going on here, from dessert to savory, and we're going to get going.
Now, I think the best one to start with is our buffalo chicken, because sometimes you have to have your fillings done first, and so they have time to cool. So Cathy's going to show you how to use the Instant Pot to make the easiest buffalo chicken filling.
Okay, so this is our Instant Pot. Well, this is my Instant Pot. And it's been put away for a little while because I don't use it that often, but it is a great tool. I remember doing one of my shows with my corned beef and cabbage in here. So we're going to start this with, we're going to put some chicken in first. So all these ingredients, other than the cheese that you see here, we have Frank's hot sauce, we have ranch, we have some pepper, garlic, and cream cheese, and we're going to throw some scallions in there. So I would like to get, and I did keep the rack inside so the chicken wouldn't stick to the bottom. So we're going to get some chicken in here. Now this buffalo chicken, we're going to put about 2 to 3 pounds of chicken in there because it's more like a meal. It's something you're going to eat for lunch or, just for running out. But if you put a little less chicken, it's your buffalo ranch dip. So let me put some of this in, and I'm going to pour some more of the chicken on there. So I'm going to put half now. Then the hot sauce. Love the hot sauce.
What's nice about this is nice and easy. And you can use it, you can freeze it, you can make a lot of these little hand pies to go.
Garlic.
Throw it in the freezer, when you want it, you can fry it or bake it.
Okay, I had my cream cheese. You can leave it sitting out for a little while just so it's just easier to scoop into the thing. So I'm going to put the rest of the chicken on top. Now I said to Gloria, do I have to take my direction books out? She says, no, I use it all the time. So
you got a piece of chicken there.
Oh, I do.
Once you start using it, it's simple.
It's a great idea because it does help everybody. It helps you get things done quicker. So let me get all this hot sauce in there. And you can add other things in there. If you want to add some peppers, you want to make it hotter, that's up to you.
More sriracha.
I am not, I guess I like it in moderation. Mm-hmm. All right, so why don't we say that? Moderation.
I like a lot of garlic in mine.
So, well, I'm going to put our pepper in. We are going to put the garlic in. The rest of the garlic. Here we go, look at that. And I'm going to throw the rest. This is 8 ounces of cream cheese. So we're going to get the rest of the cream cheese in and some scallions. Everything's all cut up, ready to go. Whenever you're cooking, it's nice to just have everything out in portions ready to go. Cover of this. There we go.
Does it go that way or the other way? Because this goes in the front. There you go. That black thing, okay.
Yeah, but I don't have it locked yet.
Just go in the back.
See, this is why I need Gloria.
Teamwork. I use mine all the time.
See that? Now, we're going to put it on pressure cooker. We're going to do 22 minutes. And we are going to...
leave it alone. That's it.
And we're going to leave it alone. That's it. So we're going to let this cook while we get busy over here.
So like I says, we have to make some of the meats start, and because they have to cool. So I'm going to start Jamaican ham pie filling. And I already started putting my onions and peppers in there. I always save the garlic for later because you don't want it to burn. Once it cooks for about 5 minutes, I throw everything else in here. That's my garlic, some scallions, and I use salt, pepper. I have curry in here, thyme, and allspice because that's the spices of Jamaica. So I like to cook my spices with my raw meat so it cooks into the meat. And while we're doing other things, I'm going to let this cook on the back end. And it says add half cup of breadcrumbs. So actually I used cornbread crumbs because I had so much cornbread at home. It really doesn't matter. So once that starts simmering, we're going to start making all these different types of pies.
Yeah. So I was smelling this, and yeah, I don't buy breadcrumbs. I have enough bread ready to go, so I will make mine.
Leftover bread here.
Yeah.
So another hand pie. People buy these things called Uncrustables, and it's a sandwich for the kids. About $1 a piece, and I'm like, oh my gosh. My husband brought that home the other day. He says, these are so good. I'm like, really? So I says, let's make our own. He says, you're going to put peanut butter on both sides. So I just put peanut butter in the middle. The other day I made some with fluffernutter.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, and what I started doing is toasting them for breakfast. So we have them all different kinds, and if you just put them in a little pan with a little butter, okay, that's a whole different thing for breakfast.
French toast.
French toast, yep.
Yep, use them for French toast.
And also, I've seen that they put them in batter and deep fry them, so everything can go deep fried.
How's that?
There you go, put a little bit of jam in the middle. I only like a little bit of jam. My husband likes it so it squirts out.
Well, men like mess, you know.
Yeah, because we clean it.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
And then I have just a typical cutter you can get in any of your little fun places or specialty parties. And what you want to do is make sure it cuts all the way through. This time I used a thicker bread than I usually use because they like the thicker sourdough. And make sure you cut it all the way down. And I squish it down. We'll put that over there. This one's a thick one.
Can get it
We'll
out.
get it.
There we go.
And we have an Uncrustable. So when I was practicing this, I made about 30 of them in all different flavors, and I threw them in little sandwich bags in the freezer. So my husband throws one in his lunch along with the rest of his food. I think it works better on the here, and I just cut it back and forth till you hear the metal.
Yep.
There's our bread.
These are perfect. Look at this. You just take off though, and you don't have to worry. Well, maybe after you bite it, you might have to worry about the jelly going on you.
Especially when it's warm.
But when you do this and you put it in the batter for your French toast, oh my God.
It's a whole different world.
It's a whole different world. You are absolutely right. And the bread we save for breadcrumbs.
Right, and this will cost you about 25 cents compared to $1 each.
Right, and then it's any jelly, marmalade,
Yep.
whatever you would like. I personally like that idea with the fluffernutter.
Yep, and I make my own jelly, so I can make it more. I make my own bread, so it's even easier.
So now this would be a dessert one. So it could be just a snack. But these are the discs. I've used these discs before when I was making my empanadas. You can get them frozen in the frozen food section. So what we're going to do with this one, this is just canned blueberry. I'm going to put that right in the middle. There we go. Try to get more of the blueberries, but you know, it's a pie filling, so you do have a lot of the sauce with it. Try to get a couple more blueberries here. And then what we're just going to put a little water on the edges because we do want it to stick. So, get a little water on the edges. We're just going to fold it over. I like to push it down a little bit.
This was just pie dough from the rollout. You roll it out and you cut it with a cutter. So,
oh, I'm sorry. I thought they were the discs. Those are the pie dough.
No, these are the pie dough that we just rolled out. You can use it with puff pastry from the freezer to give it that extra flakiness and layers. And I like how you did both sides when you crimped it.
See, my niece taught me that one because when we were doing the empanadas, she says, oh, do both sides because you don't want the stuff squirting out. Oh, that makes sense to me. But they're small, and you know what? They'd be nice for appetizers when you have having a party. There'd be a little dessert appetizers. And if you do both sides, the likelihood of it splitting is a little less. Especially when we get to the fried ones, it does help out. So here we go. We're gonna put these right here. We're just gonna stab it a little bit.
And why'd you stab it?
Let the air out. Because we don't want the,
I'll move this out of the way.
yeah. We don't want it to build up and then explode on us. So we got a little egg wash here. Because we do want it nice and golden brown.
I use whatever for an egg wash, milk, whatever's closest, so we don't waste anything.
So this is going to go in the oven, about 400. Just keep your eye on them. Golden brown, they're done. Because the only thing you're really cooking is the pie dough, which doesn't take long to cook. And you'll see it be a nice golden brown. We're just going to let it cool off a little bit. And then we're just going to put a nice little glazing on it. Okay? It's going to go right to the oven.
The next one we're going to do, now, I grew up many, many years ago in school. We had French meat pie, but French meat pie was basically mashed potatoes and a seasoned hamburger. So I make that because everybody's used to it eating in my house. I'll make big ones, but again, we have company coming, a little party, hors d'oeuvre party. I'll just take some of that. And it's an oval shape, so usually I'll try to do 2 or 3 at the same time, but I'll do 2 right now till we...
Now these are the discs.
Those are the discs, yeah.
We can roll these out.
Most of the time they'll tell you to fry them. These we'll bake these, but I made some that were already fried. Because I love this. I didn't ever use these discs till last time we talked. And I was like, oh, this is so nice.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
And a lot of times, I'm just going to twist and fold this edge. Because it gives me, now I can quickly look, if everything's forked, I won't know the difference of what's inside of it. This one I'll know this is meat pie. Go all the way around the edge and do the, yep, and tuck it in. If you do a few hundred of these, it goes by faster. And I try to squish this part down so it's not too thick, but give it a nice little edge. And I'll put that on here. Like I said, I made some that were fried, but these will be baked just for a different one. Make our vent holes. Give it a nice little wash. That'll help so it doesn't get all dry and crusty on top. This one had been sitting for a while, so we want to make sure we get this really wet. And we'll put these in the oven. Okay. How's that, all done?
Yeah.
All right, let's show it to them.
Now I gotta say, she did put in those really hot peppers.
We put a little bit of Thai pepper,
All right.
but usually
But
it calls
it
for
is-
habanero. But it's
Yeah.
not that hot.
And she put the seeds in no less too, just so you know. Anyway, so see?
That's the filling. And
That's the
it has
Jamaican
nice,
filling.
it has nice sweet smells from the allspice and the curry. And that would actually go in the fridge. I could do this later on, and but she's going to be making them here.
So we have them already. Oh, no, yeah.
That's easy.
So
Yep.
I'm getting confused here. All right, that's these. Now this was a dough we made, and it's got turmeric in it. So this is the dough for the Jamaican hand pies. So what we did was we cut them 2 different sizes. This is the bottom, the smaller one, and the bigger one is the top because you're going to be covering your filling. So we got over here the same thing that's in that pan. the Jamaican pie filling. So I got this little, it's a small scooper. It's 30, and it's black handled.
Do you know why it's 30?
Because no.
30 scoops per quart. So
how's that?
that's it. So if you figure
30
they're all
scoops?
different sizes, so if it says 12, that means there's 12 scoops per quart of 32. So that's basically a little better than an ounce, or about an ounce of
There we go.
meat.
So we scoop it in the small pot. I just need some water here. And again, just like anything else, you're going to get the edges wet. And then I am going to push this down just a little bit. I'm going to put the larger disc over it and just kind of cup it around. Make sure it touches the bottom. Push it down a little bit here. And again,
That meat smells delicious.
I'm going to just squeeze it together so we get both layers holding together.
You can start seeing the steam from the Instant Pot as it's cooking. And when you say 22 minutes, it's 22 minutes from the time it reaches temperature. It may take 5 minutes to get there, but one of my favorite new tools, or new toys.
Yeah, there you go. So, it's pretty easy, and you can make a bunch of them and just freeze them. You can cook them and then freeze them, or you can cook them just like this raw. Well, technically not, because the hamburger's done. But
Those are pretty. What's nice, it's a different shape. Not everything's a half moon, it's round. Sometimes you can even quarter them, like those empanada things. If you're making smaller ones, just quarter it, so you have a smaller bite size.
yep.
And then you don't feel as guilty taking a big one or two small ones.
Because that's like donut holes. I only had 10 donut holes. All right. That means you had 4 donuts. I don't care how you look at it.
Shh.
Okay, we can do one more. Get that in there.
Oh, that worked out just right.
Yeah.
Again, I make those and I'll freeze them by trays full and then put them in smaller bags, so, you know, surprise somebody comes over, we can put that in there, or you go into a party, something very different. Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay. I'm gonna leave that. there
And it's
we
nice
go.
that some things are baked and some things are fried. These will be baked off in the oven when she egg washes them, and we'll see all these different flavors. I can't wait for the party.
Yeah, we're gonna have one right after this.
This is one of those things you can do with kids. By using scoops, they're only going to use that amount of product, which is really, really good. Because they can, you know, you want everything the same. I know with my kids, even if it was soda in a container, it had to be all measured. So nobody got more than the other person.
Yeah.
And I only had 2 kids.
That is a big deal. Oh, let me get these.
Sorry, just tuck it in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting a little mushy.
Yeah. That's my new learning thing, double squished
Yeah.
or double forked.
It got a little squishy over here, so let me just get it this way, and then we'll put it on. It's moving.
Yeah, if we bake it off that way, we'll be our taste tester.
Okay. Let's not mess with this one too much. We'll just do this side a little bit more. Okay. So then we're going to just give it a couple of jabs. Jab those. And we're going to just put a little wash on it. I'm glad you said that about the Instant Pot, because some people said when they say, well, it didn't take 22 minutes or whatever time you told them on something, they got to remember it's when it comes up to the pressure it's supposed to be on.
Right. And then when it stops, there's a cooling period, so it releases the pressure. You can release the pressure faster if you want it right away, or just let it sit another 10-15 minutes. The pot tells you, which is really nice.
And if you get the recipe, there's all kinds of recipe books for the Instant Pot. It'll tell you do a quick release or not to do a quick release. So,
open this one here.
I was gonna say, what happened there? There we go. Okay, now we got another one here. Let me just wipe this counter off here. Now, this is your buffalo chicken one, okay? So, buffalo chicken's already made. We got some right here in this container. These are the discs from the store. They come like this in the grocery store, or you can buy them by the case, depending on what you're going to do with them, right? If you're going to freeze them, keep your little wrappers, because it's nice to keep them in between when you're lining them up in a freezer bag. So you're going to take one wrapper, then your handy dandy scooper. Put it in the middle and kind of move it towards kind of diagonal across. Water.
What's nice, there's two colors. One has annatto, which is like a saffrony color, and the other one is plain. So you can quickly see by color which is which. Like I use the plain one for the meat pie, and this way it'll look like, okay, buffalo, buffalo.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorites. This is delicious.
This is one that you just put like, make sure you have like ranch dressing to stick it in.
Or blue cheese, and that's another option.
Ooh.
Instead of putting the ranch in the Instant Pot, using blue cheese if you like blue cheese. I'm not a blue cheese lover, so it gets ranch.
There you go. I don't think anybody'd be sad about that either. I'm going to do another one here. These are great though. These little discs, they really are.
Well, just think you're going somewhere, you make it ahead in the freezer, and all right, we're going to go to the races. I love going to the races. So you can bring your own food, and this is something that you can eat room temperature. You cook it up. I usually don't cook it till I'm ready to use it, and then it can sit, a few hours in a cooler and just eat at room temperature. It's delicious. This empanada one, I like it better fried than baked. It's a different type of texture, but I'll do it both ways because some people do not like to eat, a lot of fried
Anything
food.
fried, right.
Oh, Kenny's going to love it tonight. All these different flavors and things happening.
I'll save them one of each. There we go. Whoops, let me move that over a little bit.
And these will be fried in probably about 1 inch of oil, and you want it about 350, so it's not too hot.
Yeah, we can work on these. I can make a couple more here.
Okay, I will start them in the fryer.
Okay, and then I'm just going to make a few more, and then when those are done.
Try to always keep your stuff together. Like I know I'm frying, so I have an area that I can just put my paper towels there. I'm not running back and forth, and I'm always watching the temperature by the bubbles. If it's bubbling too fast and browning too fast, I may have to lower it. If it's not bubbling, that means it's going to get really oily because it's having more time to absorb the oil. Those are beautiful, Kathy.
Oh, well, thank you. This one's spitting out a little bit, but. When I made the empanadas that time, I had quite a bit left, and it didn't take long before they were out of the freezer and they were being made. So, and once everybody knows that you have empanadas in the freezer, it's like, oh, well, can't you just make a few of them? And the other thing is, you can. You just take a few out, heat up the oil, and make a few empanadas. So same thing with this, like the dessert one. Take it out of the freezer, warm it up, fry it up, bake it up, and then put ice cream on it.
I would say have the kids work with you on it, because then they realize how much work is involved, and they won't want to eat 3. They'll eat 2, because then they'll have to make more. No, they'll eat 3.
Yeah, that's a good idea, but I don't foresee it working, so. But it is something the kids can do. They can fold it over, they can put the scoop in. You can have let's make ham pie night and have everybody over and just make a bunch of them, and everybody, like they have the cookie parties?
Or ravioli. It's like a big ravioli.
Yeah. So you have your cookie parties, you always bring your recipe and everybody gets to take some home. Well, you can have a ham pie night and everybody brings different recipes, and then you get to take whatever home. Sounds like fun. So these are probably the, oh, they're so tasty. I guess that's, we're gonna make more of these. I just got a couple more discs to make that I just wanna end this packet, so we're gonna do that. Finish the disc package. How are we doing there, Gloria?
Good. So what'll be nice is, if you ever think of, just contact Cathy. If you ever say, hey, could you try this recipe, or could you, so we can, or you can work with, we is not me, you can work with the community, to say, hey, let's try different recipes or whatever else, because sometimes they're fun just to try something new.
You can put almost anything in a ham pie.
Yep.
Right?
I like ground chorizo and mashed potatoes.
Ooh.
Or just mashed potatoes and cheese. Think of it as a big pierogi.
Oh my God. So you can have like we have the linguiça rolls.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just put it in a ham pie.
There you go.
Huh. I thought of a good idea. I might be making those. Oh, I gotta say, I like that idea.
Anything in there, right?
Some ground linguiça, some cheese. Or how about oh, I know, like a Philly cheesesteak in a ham pie.
Or people who like vegetables in there. Vegetarian, I'm not sure if these are vegetarian, but a vegetable one, good for Lent, or good for different, people who are not a meat eater. Codfish inside of that. Yeah. Codfish balls, and let's take it to another level.
Sorry, guys. I know we'll go back. I digress.
Getting carbohydrates sidetracked.
Okay, so I'll make this last disc. We got Gloria's cooking them up. We'll see where our Instapot's at. And check the ones that's in the oven. And that's it. We'll see where we're at. Welcome back. We just took a brief break so we can get some of our hand pies cooked up. So sitting in this dish, we have our buffalo chicken, and we have our French meat pie, or our meat pie, and then we have our Jamaican, and then we have more buffalo because it's just so good. And then we have our little dessert ones, which are blueberry. We have some apple ones sitting here. And these are our little crustables, all nicely done, toasted, ready to go.
Nice and gooey when you eat them.
But what we're gonna do is the buzzer went off on the Instapot, so we are gonna release the pressure. Now you can let it sit there and let the pressure come down. This little red nozzle or button here will fall all the way down and be level. That means the pressure's down. But what you can do is quick release. You just move that over and let it do its thing. So in the meantime, while that's releasing its pressure, all we have is some confectionery sugar mixed with a little water.
Yep. You can use milk, you can use cream cheese, flavor it.
And we're just gonna put some over our blueberry little ham pies, because
And if some people don't, you don't have to do them all. So some people don't want the extra sugar. I don't know why.
Right, because it's the best. And then you can Actually, if you make it a little looser, you can actually just brush it on if you want. You ever have those ones from Hostess? It looks like they just took a glaze bath. Well, you can actually do something like that.
Or throw it in the oven for just about a minute and a half, and it'll be enough to melt it on there.
Yeah.
That looks delicious.
I like to see my glaze. So, and then what I'll do is I'll just,
Just think, put cinnamon in that glaze, or blueberry cinnamon, or lemon
now
juice.
But you take this and just put it in a dish and put some ice cream on it.
Yep, right out of the oven, mini pies.
Look at that, we'll just put this on like this. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be pretty.
Because they're magical, because they just disappear.
Yeah, the magically delicious. So anyway, so that's this. We have our blueberry ones. We have our apple ones. I'll see the apple ones went on when it was a little hotter, so it's more like a little glaze, lightly glazed. This is our Uncrustable. This is our buffalo, which is so good. And then we have our Jamaican and more buffalo. And we're gonna, as soon as that's done, we're just gonna show you how to mix that up really quickly.
And then we'll taste test.
Oh yeah, just make sure it's right, because you always have to do that. It's got to be tested. So as you can see that the steam is coming down. Once that little red button drops, that means we can open it up. Do not open up without that being all the way down, because you will have a facial that you really don't want.
These here we baked are the same as those that we fried. That's hot. So you see a difference in color. You saved yourself an extra 50 calories by baking them.
Right.
I think I would bake them on a non-stick.
Well, we could do that, right? But they're done quickly, and again, it's quick, it's easy, it can sit there. If you had I have meetings to go to. I could leave this on the counter for my husband and go to my meetings, and when he comes home, he can eat it like that. He can pop it in the microwave. I wouldn't have to worry about him coming home eating junk, because he said, well, you didn't have supper ready. So I had a ring ding.
With a nice little salad, you've hit all your, yeah.
There we go. Buttons down. Hear a little noise. Look at that. So what we have here is everything done. I can just show you, it's all ready to be mixed. So it's sitting there, it's all cooked. I am going to take the rack out, only because we left it there because we didn't want the chicken to stick to the bottom. So we're going to take this rack out. Just going to put it right now on the counter here. And what we can do is take the mixer, put it right in there. Oh, and it splashes a little bit, so be careful.
I've done that with chicken. I also do it with pulled pork. If instead of pulling it apart, maybe on a low speed, it would just pull it right apart.
I would suggest you wear an apron.
With everything I do.
Yeah. Or you know what? Personally, I think, no, it's a little bit mushy, but you know what else I got? I got this handy dandy, so I won't be wearing so much. Let's see if this works better. I got a lot of handy dandy things. Ta-da.
That'll make it a little bit more mushier instead of pulled apart, which is really a different way.
How about if I just do it
quickly,
a little bit?
yeah.
Yep. Because right now I'm wearing it, and not that I really mind.
It's a great toy, the immersion blender.
It is. All right, so we're talking about toys here, and you know what? It is a great thing. So you just put it in. Notice no splashing. This is nice when you're making like tomato soup. Oh yeah, it's done. Because we don't want it too mushy.
Look at that nice color.
Yep. And now we're just going to throw the cheese in. Now with the cheese in there, I will just mix it with a...
And the cheese helps bind it once it's cold, so that, like you saw, it was scoopable.
So what we have is cheddar and mozzarella. So all we're going to do is, after we do that, we're just going to go around we're going to just mix the cheese in. And of course, this is going to have to cool because you're not going to want to start scooping this into those shells because you will, again, get burnt. So we have
And it'll thicken right up once it cools.
a nice little chunky chicken. Oops, my chunky chicken keeps falling. There we go, look at that.
Beautiful.
So that's it, and we'll just let this cool and call that. So I would let it cool completely and then work with it, cool a lot, and then put it in the refrigerator, but don't put it in the refrigerator this hot.
And I usually make my filling the day before, so it stays nice
It's
and
ready
cool.
to go. So that's with an Instant Pot. If you don't have one, obviously you can do it on the stove and get everything ready and just watch it. Make sure your chicken is cooked through because you don't want to do anything raw. So anything can be done ahead of time. It can all be frozen. It can be for anything, parties, just sitting down outside. The weather's getting warmer and just enjoying yourself. So how about putting this on your family table?
What would you like to try? That one. I'm doing Jamaican.
I'm going with the sweets. So
I'm going with the Jamaican hand pie.
blueberry.
Delicious.
Until next time, we'll see you and put this on your family table and everybody will enjoy it.